There comes a time in life when the noise outside gets so loud, it tempts you to lose your focus. The opinions, the criticism, the fake applause, the distractions, they all pull at you, trying to drag you away from your assignment. But you have to remember this. Great things are built in silence. Strong foundations are laid when no one is watching, and champions are made behind closed doors. Stay low, stay under the radar, not because you're hiding, but because you're building. Not because you're afraid, but because you're preparing. When an architect draws the blueprint for a skyscraper, nobody claps for the foundation. Nobody celebrates the digging. But that doesn't mean the work isn't happening. The deepest work happens in silence. You don't need their validation. You need your own discipline. Stay focused. Don't allow yourself to be emotionally hijacked by temporary feelings or fleeting moments. Distractions are expensive. Every distraction you entertain takes you further away from your destiny. Focus is your currency. Protect it like your life depends on it. 'Cause it does. When you're focused, you become dangerous. Not to hurt people, but to threaten mediocrity, to intimidate failure, and to challenge limitation. Stay dangerous. Dangerous people are disciplined people. Dangerous people move with strategy. They don't make noise that they make impact. They don't argue, they execute. They don't announce, they arrive. Be the person who silently levels up. Let your results speak long after the world stopped paying attention. This is not the season for explanation. It's the season for execution. While they're laughing, you're learning. While they're sleeping, you're working. While they're scrawling, you're growing. And when the time comes, when the foundation is set and the work is done, you'll rise. And when you rise, you won't need to introduce yourself. Your results will speak for you. Your discipline will echo in every room you enter. And your success will answer every question they ever had about you. This is your time to commit. This is your season to stay low, stay focused, stay dangerous until you win. There is a season in every person's life where everything feels quiet. The phone stops ringing, the invitations dry up, the recognition fades, people stop checking in. It feels like the world has moved on without you. But what most people don't realize is that this silence is not a punishment, it's preparation. The silent seasons are not a sign of failure. They are a setup for your next level. This is the time when life is testing you to see if you can grow without applause, if you can grind without validation, and if you can keep moving forward without someone cheering you on. Think about the seed planted deep in the soil. It disappears from view. It is surrounded by darkness. There's no sunlight touching it directly, no one standing around applauding it, no one saying, "Good job, you're growing." But in that quiet, unseen space, the most critical transformation is taking place. The roots are forming. The foundation is being built. It's uncomfortable. It's lonely. But it's necessary. Without those strong roots, that plant will never survive when the storm comes. And that's exactly how life works with you. People love the spotlight, but they forget the backstage grind. They want the stage without the struggle, the success without the solitude, the reward without the work. But the truth is, what you build in private will determine how long you last in public. When you're in your silent season, that's the time to sharpen your skills, develop your mindset, build your character, and strengthen your discipline. This is where you learn how to stay committed when no one is watching. This is where you build the kind of consistency that doesn't need an audience to survive. Think about the athletes training before dawn while the rest of the world sleeps. Think about the students staying up late, studying while everyone else is out partying. Think about the entrepreneur grinding in silence while nobody believes in their vision. It's in these moments, these hidden hours, that champions are made. This is the season where you fight battles that no one will ever know about, where you wrestle with self-doubt, where you push through exhaustion, where you choose discipline over comfort every single day. You have to embrace the loneliness of growth. Because the truth is, not everyone can come with you to your next level. And the silent season is life's way of filtering your circle. It's removing distractions, cutting off unnecessary noise, and making room for your breakthrough. The people who truly matter will remain. The ones who were never meant to stay will naturally fall away. And that's not a loss, it's a blessing in disguise. This season is where your self-talk becomes your fuel. When you wake up in the morning and no one's texting you, you have to motivate yourself. When the results aren't showing yet, you have to believe anyway. When you're grinding day after day with no visible progress, you have to trust the process. It's easy to feel powerful when you're winning, when the followers increase, when the likes roll in. But real strength is built when you have no audience and you're still showing up for yourself. The silent season will teach you how to clap for yourself. It will show you how to encourage yourself. how to pick yourself up after a bad day and get back to work the next morning. It will teach you how to set boundaries, how to say no, how to focus on what really matters without getting distracted by temporary feelings. You'll start to see life differently. You'll realize that your value isn't determined by how many people notice you. Your worth isn't tied to social media likes, text messages, or public praise. Your strength is coming from your discipline, from your vision, from your resilience, from your decision to keep going even when no one is watching. This is where you become dangerous. This is where you become unstoppable. This is where you build the kind of mindset that can't be broken by rejection, setbacks, or delays. This is the season where you develop the emotional muscles to handle the weight of the success you're asking for. Because when the spotlight finally does find you, you'll be ready, not because you were lucky, but because you survived the silent season. Discipline over distraction is the difference between winners and wishers. Every single day, life will throw distractions at you like confetti. Your phone will buzz with notifications that have no value. Social media will scream for your attention with highlight reels of other people's lives that aren't even real. Friends will call you for things that don't matter. Family will ask for favors that can wait. And inside all of this noise, your dream sits there waiting for you to choose it. The people who win are not the people with the most talent or the most money or the best connections. They're the ones who master discipline when distractions come knocking. Discipline is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's waking up in the morning when your bed feels like the most comfortable place in the universe, but your goals demand your energy. It's sitting down to work when your mind wants to scroll. It's going to the gym when your body says rest. It's choosing the book over the television. It's writing the business plan while your friends are out having fun. Discipline is making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. Think about the student preparing for an important exam. Every notification is a temptation. Every invitation is a distraction. There's a party happening, a game streaming, friends hanging out. But that student who says no to all of that, who locks in and studies, who sacrifices short-term fun for long-term success, that's discipline. And when the results come in, and they're holding that certificate, everyone will say how lucky they are, how smart they are. But no one saw the nights they stayed up late, the mornings they woke up early, the times they said no when it wasn't easy. Discipline is the artist who creates when no one is buying, the entrepreneur who builds when the customers haven't come yet, the athlete who trains when the stands are empty, the writer who writes when the words don't want to come. Discipline says, do it anyway. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. It creates it. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Distractions don't announce themselves. They disguise as entertainment, as rest, as harmless fun. 1 hour scrolling turns into 3. One skipped workout turns into a lazy week. One missed opportunity becomes regret. Discipline is your guardrail. It keeps you from driving off the road of your destiny. You have to set boundaries for yourself. You have to build routines that protect your time. Your calendar has to reflect your priorities, not your mood. Look around. Look at the people who keep complaining about their life, but never change their habits. Look at the ones who have big dreams but small discipline. They start and stop, start and stop. Over and over again, they get excited for a week and then disappear for a month. But the ones who stay, the ones who show up daily, the ones who keep moving even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one notices, they're the ones who will win. Every distraction has a cost. The time you spend watching other people live their dreams is time you're stealing from your own dream. Every time you choose comfort over consistency, you delay your breakthrough. And the hardest part is no one will force you to be disciplined. This is a war you fight with yourself. No one will tell you to put the phone down. No one will drag you to your goals. No one will beg you to focus. You have to want it bad enough to choose discipline every single day. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Even when you fail, discipline says get back up. When you fall behind, discipline says catch up. When you feel like quitting, discipline says remember why you started. This is about showing yourself that you can trust yourself, that your word to yourself means something. Because the most dangerous version of you is the one who follows through, the one who keeps showing up, the one who chooses discipline over distraction every single time. Build a strong foundation, because without it, everything you try to create will crumble the moment pressure comes. Think about a tall skyscraper. Before it touches the sky, workers spend months, sometimes years, digging deep into the ground. They pour concrete, install steel bars layer after layer, going down before going up. And during this phase, nobody sees anything impressive. People walk by the construction site and see dirt, holes, dust, and chaos. They don't see progress, they see mess. But the builders know the deeper they go, the higher they can rise. Life works the same way. You want success, but you don't want the slow part, you want the breakthrough. But you don't want the build-up. But here's the truth: your foundation is your character, it's your habits, it's the mindset you shape. When no one's clapping for you, every time you wake up early, when you don't feel like it, you're pouring concrete into your foundation. Every time you say no to something easy and yes to something that stretches you, you're adding steel to your character. Every time you stay consistent with your goals, even when you're tired, you're making that foundation stronger. Look at the athlete training at 5 a.m. while the world sleeps. Look at the single parent juggling work, kids, and study time, refusing to quit. Look at the entrepreneur making cold calls, getting rejected over and over, but still waking up the next day ready to try again. This is foundation work. And the truth is, most people don't want this part. They want the highlight reel. They want the applause. But if you skip the foundation, you will collapse under the weight of your own success. Think about the student who wants to graduate at the top of their class. Everyone sees them walk across the stage, smiling, receiving awards. What they don't see are the nights they stayed up crying over textbooks, the weekends they spent in the library while friends were out partying, the early mornings with coffee, stained notes, and tired eyes. That's foundation. That's what holds them steady when life gets real. It's in the foundation that you build discipline. It's in the foundation that you develop patience. It's in the foundation that you learn how to handle stress, pressure, and even failure. When life hits you with setbacks, your foundation is what keeps you standing. Because storms will come, disappointments will show up, people will walk away, opportunities will dry up, and if your foundation is weak, you'll break. But if it's strong, you'll bend, but you won't fall. Foundation is waking up and doing the work when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's saying yes to the hard things over and over, even when there's no immediate reward. It's focusing on your craft when nobody is watching. It's making sacrifices now so you can enjoy the results later. Think about a relationship built on shallow connection. The first argument tears it apart. But a relationship built on communication, trust, understanding, and commitment can survive storms. That's the power of foundation. The same applies to your career, your health, your personal growth. Anything you want to build, whether it's a business, a dream, or a new version of yourself, must start with a foundation that can hold the weight of the future you're asking for. The problem with skipping the foundation is that when you get what you want, you won't know how to keep it. Success without preparation leads to self-destruction. Fast money disappears just as fast. Fast fame fades away overnight. Quick wins vanish. But when you build slow, steady, and strong, you create something that lasts. So embrace the long nights, the early mornings, the moments of self-doubt that you push through, the plans that require patience, and the discipline that feels like a burden now but will soon become your biggest strength. This is the part where champions are made. This is where you're becoming the kind of person who won't just reach the top, but will stay there, become a threat to mediocrity, because the world doesn't reward people who settle for average. Mediocrity is comfortable. It's easy. It's safe. It's waking up just to go through the motions. It's doing just enough to get by. It's looking at your dreams and saying, maybe later. It's saying yes to distractions and no to discipline. But deep down, you know that nothing extraordinary grows in the soil of mediocrity. If you want more from life, you have to become dangerous to your comfort zone. You have to wake up every day with the mindset that average is not your final destination. Look around you. Look at how many people start things but never finish. How many people get excited for 1 week, but give up the moment things get tough? How many people talk about big goals, but never take big action? Mediocrity is loud in conversation, but silent in execution. It celebrates small effort like it's a major win. It justifies laziness with excuses that sound intelligent, but are built on fear. Think about the athlete who refuses to train on the days they feel tired. Think about the student who waits until the night before the exam to study. Think about the entrepreneur who keeps planning, but never executes. These are the habits of mediocrity, and if you're not intentional, you'll find yourself drifting into that same mindset. You'll start making excuses for why you're not where you want to be. You'll start blaming circumstances, people, time, anything but yourself. Becoming a threat to mediocrity means deciding that you will not let your life be a story of almost successful, almost disciplined, almost consistent, almost great. You have to step into every day with the mentality that good enough is not good enough for you, that average results are unacceptable, that giving half your energy, half your focus, half your heart is no longer an option. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones you look up to, the ones who achieve something remarkable. None of them became who they are by playing it safe. None of them accepted average effort from themselves. They fought, they sacrificed, they pushed past feelings of doubt, fear, and fatigue. They became relentless. They became consistent. They became dangerous in their focus and discipline. And now they're living the life that most people only dream about. This is about making a decision to raise your standards. When mediocrity tells you to hit the snooze button, you get up. When mediocrity tells you to skip the workout, you show up anyway. When mediocrity tells you to take a day off from your goals, you go twice as hard. You make your habits so consistent, your work ethic so intense, your focus so sharp, that mediocrity doesn't feel safe around you. Imagine walking into a room and your energy alone making people uncomfortable because they know you're about action, not talk. Imagine developing such a strong mindset that when obstacles show up, you don't panic, you plan. When challenges appear, you don't fold, you fight. When doubt creeps in, you don't pause, you push forward. That's what being a threat to mediocrity looks like. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you weaken mediocrity's grip on your life. Every time you take one more step when you feel like quitting, you destroy average thinking. Every time you hold yourself accountable, when no one else is watching, you build a reputation with yourself that says, I don't back down. I don't quit halfway. I don't let fear or laziness decide my future. This is about becoming the kind of person that mediocrity fears. The kind of person who doesn't need motivation because they've built discipline. The kind of person who doesn't need validation because their work speaks loud enough. The kind of person who doesn't settle for almost because they're determined to finish everything they start. This is about looking at your life and saying, from this day forward, I refuse to live below my potential. I will show up. I will push harder. I will stay consistent. I will outwork and outlast every excuse that tries to hold me back. Let results speak louder than words, because talk is cheap and action is priceless. In a world full of noise, everyone seems to have something to say. People love to announce their plans, boast about their goals, and make big promises with no intention of following through. They talk about how they're going to change their life, how they're going to start that business, lose that weight, write that book, get that degree, or chase that dream. But time always reveals who was serious and who was just performing for attention. Look around you. Notice how many people have been making the same promises for years. They keep saying, this is my year, or just wait till you see what I do next. But every year looks the same for them, same habits, same excuses, same results. Because words without action are just noise, words without discipline are empty, and words without consistency are forgotten. Imagine a person who spends every day posting motivational quotes on social media, but never takes a single step towards their own goals. Imagine someone who talks endlessly about starting a business, but never files the paperwork, never builds the product, never makes the sales call. Imagine the friend who always talks about getting in shape, but never shows up at the gym, never changes their eating habits, never commits to the process. This is the trap of empty words. Results are different. Results can't be faked. Results don't lie. Results don't need explanation. When you start showing results, people stop questioning your silence. They stop doubting your moves. They start paying attention without you asking for it. Results are loud even when you're quiet. They speak for you in rooms you've never entered. They tell your story without you opening your mouth. Think about the athlete who trains in silence, away from the cameras, running laps when no one is watching, lifting weights when everyone else is sleeping, sticking to a diet when others are indulging. When game day comes, their performance speaks louder than any speech ever could. Think about the student who sacrifices parties for late-night study sessions, who stays focused when friends are distracted, who stays disciplined when no one else does, when the grades are posted and their name is at the top. That's the result talking. In business, it's the entrepreneur who didn't waste time making announcements about every little step. They worked in silence, built the product, served the clients, solved problems day after day. And when the revenue starts climbing, when the success starts showing, when the lifestyle changes become visible, that's when people realize something powerful was happening all along. And the truth is, people respect what they can see. People doubt what they only hear. You don't have to convince anyone you're serious about your life. You don't have to argue with people who don't believe in you. You don't have to explain your vision to those who can't see it. Your results will make them listen. Your consistency will make them watch. Your growth will make them rethink every doubt they ever had about you. Let people wonder why you're so quiet. Let them guess what you're working on. Let them speculate about your next move. You don't owe anyone an update on your grind. You owe yourself the discipline to deliver. Every hour you spend working, every sacrifice you make, every moment you choose action over comfort, you're stacking up results. And when the time is right, when the preparation meets the opportunity, you won't need to tell the world what you've been doing. They'll see it, they'll feel it, they'll witness it. The most powerful statement you can make is progress. Progress turns doubters into believers. Progress turns critics into spectators. Progress turns your silence into applause. You don't need to prove anything with your words. You need to prove everything with your work. Because at the end of the day, people remember results. They forget promises. They ignore intentions. But results leave a mark that no one can erase, turn strategy into execution, because ideas alone will never change your life. Too many people live in their heads, building castles in the air, planning their future success without ever making a move. They sit for hours writing goals, drawing vision boards, making to-do lists. But when it's time to act, they freeze. Strategy without execution is like having a map, but refusing to take the first step. It doesn't matter how brilliant your plan is if you never leave the starting line. Think about the person who talks about starting a business. They've researched for months, watched every tutorial, attended every webinar, read every book, and yet the business still doesn't exist, the website never launched. The product never got built, the first sale never happened. Why? Because strategy stayed in their notebook and never became action. Execution is messy, it's uncomfortable, it's the part where you feel fear, self-doubt, and resistance. It's the part where things don't go exactly as you planned. But execution is also where growth happens. It's where you learn what works and what doesn't. It's where you build resilience and problem-solving skills. Strategy will show you the path, but execution will build your strength. Think about the student who makes a study schedule but never follows it. The entrepreneur who outlines a marketing plan but never runs the first campaign. The athlete who creates a workout plan but never shows up to the gym. The truth is, life rewards execution, not intention. No one claps for your plans. No one celebrates your ideas. People respect results, and results only come when you turn strategy into action. Execution doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It doesn't need the right mood, the right energy, or the right timing. It thrives in discomfort. It grows in chaos. Sometimes you have to take the first step before you feel ready. Sometimes you have to start with shaky hands and uncertain thoughts. Sometimes you have to act before the fear talks you out of it, because clarity comes from doing, not thinking. Remember the person who wanted to get in shape, but kept waiting for the perfect Monday to start. Then another week passed, then another month. Before they knew it, a whole year slipped away, and they were still stuck at the same point, frustrated and disappointed. Execution says start now with what you have from where you are. Execution means sending the email even if you're nervous about the response, making the phone call even if your voice shakes, writing the first page of the book even when you're doubting your talent, posting the first video even when you're scared of criticism. Execution is making progress while everyone else is still making excuses. You don't need more motivation. You don't need another seminar. You don't need more research. You need movement, action, forward momentum. Because once you start moving, something powerful happens. Momentum builds, confidence grows. And what felt impossible yesterday starts to feel natural today. Think about a car parked on a hill. The hardest part is getting it to roll from a dead stop. But once it's moving, it becomes almost impossible to stop without hitting the brakes. Your life works the same way. Stop overthinking. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop convincing yourself that you need one more piece of information. You already know what you need to do. Now do it. Execution will expose your weaknesses, but that's a good thing. It will show you where you need to improve. It will reveal the gaps in your knowledge, your discipline, and your mindset. But the only way to grow is to face those weaknesses head on. Because every time you choose action over hesitation, you're getting stronger. Every time you move forward despite fear, you're becoming more unstoppable. You will never build the life you want just by planning it. You have to work it into existence. Sweat it into reality. Fight for it with every ounce of discipline you have. Execution is what separates dreamers from doers, thinkers from achievers, talkers from winners. The world is full of people with good ideas, but very few have the courage to act on them. Choose to be the one who acts. Choose to execute. Choose to move. This is your moment to stop talking and start doing. This is your season to turn the invisible into the visible, to bring your dreams out of your mind and into reality. For too long, you've stood on the edge of your potential, watching others build, create, win, while you waited for the perfect moment. But here's the truth that life keeps trying to teach you. There will never be a perfect moment. The stars won't always align, the circumstances won't always favor you, and the opportunities won't always come knocking twice. You have to act while you're afraid, move while you're uncertain, and build while you're still learning. Because action beats fear, execution kills doubt, momentum destroys procrastination. You're not here to live an average life. You're not breathing right now just to watch others succeed while you make excuses. You've got something inside you that the world needs to see. As one famous quote says, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. You can't let doubt have another day, another hour, another second of your life. You have to be willing to take the leap, even if you're not sure how it ends. Because faith isn't about knowing the outcome, it's about trusting the process and moving anyway. Remember this: champions are not made when the cameras are on. Champions are made when no one's watching, when the gym is empty, when the streets are quiet, when the office lights are still on late at night. Greatness is built in the shadows long before it shines in the spotlight. Every single successful person you admire had a moment where they had to choose between comfort and growth. They had to choose between staying silent and speaking up, between standing still and stepping forward, between quitting and fighting one more round, and now it's your turn. Now it's your chapter to write. You can't rewind time, but you can own this moment. You can decide that today is the day you draw the line in the sand and say enough is enough. Enough with the excuses, enough with the waiting, enough with letting fear write the story of your life. It's time to get up, show up, and level up. As another great quote says, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. That means pushing past your limits. That means sacrificing comfort for progress. That means waking up earlier, working harder, staying longer, studying deeper, and grinding when others rest. Because at the end of the day, success is rented, and the rent is due every single day. You've got to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I will not be outworked. I will not be outlasted. I will not let another day pass without giving everything I've got to the life I'm building. You don't owe anyone explanations for your hustle. You don't need validation for your discipline. What you need is to stay low, stay focused, stay dangerous until you win. Stop chasing applause and start chasing progress. Stop trying to prove people wrong and start proving yourself right. The clock is ticking. The world is moving. Opportunities are passing. The question is, are you going to keep watching, or are you finally going to start doing? As the saying goes, discipline weighs ounces, but regret weighs tons. Choose your weight. Choose your fight. Choose your future. Because the most powerful project you will ever work on is you. The grind will be lonely. The nights will feel long. The failures will sting. But the day you wake up living the life you once dreamed about, every tear, every sacrifice, every setback will make sense. Don't just dream about it. Work for it. Fight for it. Stay low. Stay focused. Stay dangerous until you win. If this journey into the psyche resonates with you, consider subscribing for more deep dives into wisdom. Like this video to help others who might be feeling lost find their way. And please, share your own experiences in the comments below. What has this journey felt like for you? Your story matters, and your insights might just be the light someone else needs to navigate their own darkness.